Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the screencast. This is Dr. Lassane again. And in this screencast, we're going to talk about your social media, your social networking activity. And that means going on to Twitter and taking a look at it. Remember that for this particular activity, you're going to follow Dr. Perry, me, and 5 other people. And that you have a Twitter starter pack to help you identify those people. And then you're going to reflect on what it is that you learned while you were on Twitter. So let's go over to my Twitter feed. It's going to look a little different from yours unless you've been on Twitter for a long time. You can see that I am following 1,300 plus people, and that I have close to 18,000 people who are following me. So I've been here for a while. I've been learning a lot, and I do look at Twitter as one of those social platforms where I do learn a great deal. So let's just kind of go through the feed a little bit. It says I already have 11 new tweets and I just got on here. So that's the way it's going to happen. There are lots of tweets kind of popping in right now. One of the things that I see right here, I look at hashtags. And right now in Seattle, the Scholastic Reading Summit's going on. So there are going to be a lot of tweets from that summit. John Shue is book talking. Donalyn Miller will talk a lot about books. The guest speaker this time is Chad Everett, and I think he's probably going to talk a lot about diversity. So sometimes I'll screen by a hashtag. I'll just come up here if I want to kind of check and see what's going on, and I'll just say Reading Summit, and it will filter out all of the Reading Summit tweets for me. So you can do the same thing with the people you're following. And it makes it so much simpler to be able to do that as a whole. But for the moment, let's just go back home, back to the bigger tweets that are out there. Let me just show you some of the people that are here, some of the people you might want to follow. Debbie Ridpath Ojai, right here, Inky Elbows, is an author and an illustrator, and she's actually talking about another author of children's books, Tim Federle. He writes young adult novels. So as we go through the feed, you can see there's still a lot of Reading Summit showing up here. But here's what I find valuable in Twitter, and what I hope you will too, and that is that I follow links. So here's one right here from Education Week called The Many Ways We Are Deprofessionalizing Teaching. So I will often then take that link, which is right here, click on it, follow it, and read what's in this particular piece. So sometimes I learn something that's new that I didn't know. In this case, this is really important to me because the teaching profession, I think, has been deprofessionalized in many ways. So when I say follow links, those are the kind of things that I'm talking about. So I'll scroll through my Twitter feed, and I'm looking for things that I think will be important to me. This is Cornelius Minor. He's one of the educators that I follow. And he talks about thinking about how to write an assignment. And he says, grown-ups need this too. And you might kind of take a look at it. It's a really nice anchor chart that's here. So every day as I'm going through my Twitter feed, some things are just kind of silly and give me an opportunity to laugh, just like Facebook. And sometimes I learn kind of interesting things that I might not have known. And so I'm going through and I'm looking for things, links that I can follow, information that I might need to have, and I kind of follow wherever they take me. Sometimes I'll bookmark something to come back. This one I think is one that I'll probably bookmark. It's a book list on resistance, recommended picture books for young readers. So this has to do with social justice. I really kind of like that idea that there are some books here that we can use to teach kids about social justice issues. So sometimes I'll bookmark things to come back to, like this, add that to my reading list so I know that I'll come back to it later and take a look at it. And then I come back to Twitter and I continue to scan down. So remember on Twitter that you're going to be following a teacher, a librarian, a literacy organization, Dr. Perry, me. You're going to be following 7 people, 7 things totally. So choose carefully. Make sure that you use that Twitter starter pack. If it's somebody that's not on the Twitter starter pack, come back and ask whether or not this is a person worth following. So, for example, if I were to search Twitter for YALSA, that's one of the organizations that you can follow. I'll see that today they're posting all kinds of information, including the latest version of Y'all's. Their journal is out, and it talks about celebrating a 15-year anniversary of having that. But it'll also have links to things that are important to librarians, like clearing the budget hurdle, making sure that the IMLS and other funds continue in the next year, in the next legislature year. So this is what I can learn when I follow YALSA as my professional organization. I can certainly choose others, but YALSA, the Young Adult Literature Services Association of NCTE, will really kind of help you, I think, navigate some of the things that you're going to learn for this course. So again, you can look at a narrowed kind of thing, or you can look at Twitter as a whole. And once you've joined Twitter, you'll also see that you have a link here called notifications. These are people that are either talking to you or replying to something you've said. So I go in sometimes and just look at what's going on, what are people saying about me. You know, it's kind of an important thing for me to keep up with what the people I follow on Twitter are saying. You can send direct messages to people with whom you're friends, with who you follow on Twitter, so that you don't have to put that up for everybody to see. But home is generally where I start. You're going to find book recommendations. There's a wealth of information you're going to find on Twitter. Now, one of the things you're going to do on Twitter is have a Twitter chat. And if you've never done that, you probably want to have some way of kind of organizing your Twitter chat when it happens. I use TweetDeck. There are other platforms that you can use, other URLs that you can use. Right now you can see I'm having trouble loading TweetDeck because my internet has slowed to a crawl this morning. So I might have to ditch this and come back to it. Okay, internet is back to no longer crawling, and this is TweetDeck. I've already set my TweetDeck up in terms of the columns that I want. I want my home column, so I can always see what's being fed in via Twitter. The second thing I have set up here are notifications. Those are the ones that mention me. And then the third column is where we'll be doing our chat, and that's PPPD chat. You just put in the name of the particular chat. And if you'll see here, you'll see there's Dr. Perry announcing that it'll be July 27th at 7 p.m. Join us and use the hashtag. Before the chat occurs, we will be giving you more information, making some suggestions about how you can join in, how you can use this more effectively. But you can see that you can look at everything that's going on here, and you can kind of scroll through your messages. Because what happens when 30 people are online and chatting at the same time is you're going to see lots of things kind of go flying past your eyeballs, but you'll have a chance to go back and look at it again. So think of using something like TweetDeck. If I'm going to tweet, then I come over here and you can see, what it is I'm supposed to say. And I'll just say testing for PPPD chat. If you put in that hashtag, then tweet it, it's going to show up eventually over in your PPPD chat, or at least it should. Let's hope it does. There we go. You can see it over here. So make sure that you're looking at a platform like this. TweetDeck is not the only one available, but to me, it's the easiest one to use.